Okay, this intervention is repeated reading, and it's to help students who are struggling with reading fluently. And so the materials that you're going to need are all found in your packets. There's 3 different levels of text that you're going to use. There's one level for students that are reading at a level F or below. There's passages for students who are reading at about a G to a K. And then there's passages for students that are at L and above. And so all that you need for this intervention are the passages and then a student data sheet. This one, as you can see, is already the student's been working on. On the data sheet for the students, the goals that they're going to need for DIBELS for beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year are already marked on there so that the students can see how close they are to reaching their goal. And so at the end of the week, you would have them graph how well they did on their student data sheet. For the teachers, you're going to keep up with their data by progress monitoring on DIBELS. And so the passages that are in your materials, you would use all week long, Monday through probably Thursday, and then give them a fresh read on Friday with the passages from DIBELS, the progress monitoring passages, to get their actual score. So once you've determined what level of the text your student needs, you're going to give them one of those passages. And what you're going to do is you're essentially modeling for the student what fluent reading sounds like. And so before you actually start this intervention, you're going to want to have a conversation with the student about what fluent reading sounds like. And they're going to need to have a good understanding that fluent reading means you're not reading too fast or slow, that you're using expression and not sounding choppy or like a robot, that they're stopping at the end of punctuation, and just making sure that they're not rushing through it and that they're reading words accurately. And so what you're going to do in the intervention is you're only going to read one line at a time. And so the teacher would model for the student how to fluently read the first line in the passage, and then the student would repeat that exact same line after the teacher. And as the teacher, you need to listen to how they're reading. And if they're not reading that line fluently, you want to continue reading that same line until they get it fluently, and then you can go on to the next line. So the intervention would look like this. Okay, today we're going to practice our fluent reading. And so remember all of those things that we've talked about before about what fluent readers sound like. And the title of this passage is Kim's Diner. And so what I want you to do is listen to me read the very first line, and then you're only going to read the first line after me. And our goal is to read fluently. Kim and her pals eat dinner in the grass.
Kim and her pals eat dinner in the grass.
Okay, that was really good. It was a little bit choppy though. You phrased some of the words together. You kind of said Kim and her pals, and then you paused. Eat dinner, then you paused, in the grass. Remember, part of fluency is reading it all together and not choppy. So listen to me read it again, and then you're going to try it again. Kim and her pals eat dinner in the grass.
Kim and her pals eat dinner in the grass.
Very good. Now, obviously, the student may not get that after the second time. You may need to read the same line over several times. Once they have gotten that first line down, then you can move on to the second one. Kim and her pals see a cat, a pig, and a fox.
Kim and her
Pals
see a cat, a pig, and a
fox. Okay, so that was really good. Remember that we want to try and read the words accurately, read the right words, and make sure that we're reading fluent and not choppy. So listen to me read that one again. Kim and her pals see a cat, a pig, and a fox.
Kim and her pals see a cat, a pig, and a fox.
Very good. Once the students got into sentences down fluently, before moving on to the next one, go back and group those 2 sentences together and have them read them after you, and then you would continue to add on sentences. At the end of the week, you would progress monitor them with DIBELS with a fresh read, and then you would have them track their data. We also suggest that if there's students that you use this intervention with and it just doesn't seem like they are picking up on the fluent reading, one strategy you might want to use is recording the student on your iPod or phone or iPad, whatever you have available, and show them the video, because some students, as they're reading, may not be able to hear the mistakes that they're making. But if they can see themselves and hear themselves reading in a video that might help them. So this is the repeated reading strategy to help students build their fluency.